So this is a very exciting moment. It has taken 8 working days to get a parcel from Melbourne to Brisbane, and in those 8 days I've been fretting because I want my books, you know. But anyway, the parcel has arrived and here it is. So in the first instance, I am not particularly impressed by the packaging, Ingram Spark. Not very impressed at all. You guys clearly haven't been reading about the circular economy, because if you had, you would know that you don't bond your biological nutrients with your technical nutrients, okay? If you're going to have a box like this, it needs to be wrapped in some sort of a paper tape, right? So that's the first instance. Not happy with this. I'm now responsible for all of this junk, which is going to have to go in the recycle bin, and it probably can't be recycled because it's got tape all over the cardboard. So not impressed. But anyway, the books inside is the latest book that I've put out, and it's called Who's Next? Climate, Collapse and You. You might recognize the title because a year ago I released a book called What Comes Next? Climate Change, the Future and You. And what I did was, a year after that book came out, I went back to it, I did a big editing pass, I changed out a few chapters, refocused it somewhat, and have put out the sort of effectively the same book but under a different title. Okay, so it's not the same book, it's an improved version of the old one. I've got 10 copies here, and this is the first time that I've created a book in a 6 inches by 4 inch format. So the idea was, because it's only a short book, it's only about 30,000 words, the idea was to sort of make it sort of, if it went into a larger trim size, then it would have been very thin. So I just wanted it to have some nice sort of aesthetics. So let's have a look. Here are the books. Wow. Wow.
And wow. Thank you.
My mate David here. David can give me a commentary in a minute. I am actually really impressed. This is actually a lot smaller than I thought. It's a lot smaller than I sort of envisaged it. This is great. I'm impressed. Ingram Spark, I love you again. Let's have a look inside it, shall we? Nice gripping cover, nice, and doesn't have a tingy smell. It's a dramatic cover, isn't it, David?
It is a dramatic cover, yeah.
Okay, it's all nicely aligned. The spine, we've got the text nicely on the spine. Okay, check that cover out. It's got this dramatic, who's next? This guy's putting out somebody's fire here, look. Grim truth from environmental scientist Guy Lane. Wow, okay, let's see if I managed to lay it out properly. So far, so good. There's the inside. This one doesn't have a lot of front matter in it. It doesn't have all the normal blah blah. You just jump straight into it. It's got a couple of pages of chapter headings. So the idea of this book, it takes 2 hours to read this book. And this book is a condensation of pretty much everything that I've learned in my 20 years, 30 years of trying to understand the secrets of life on Earth. And as I was writing this book, I was reading a book by a guy called Joe Romm, who's a climate communicator, and his book was called How to Go Viral. And so I was applying the ideas from Joe Romm's book into here. So it's short, punchy, it's written in the first person, and you start this thing and you basically go, and within 2 hours it's like, wow. This book identifies 3 scenarios for the future of human beings on the planet, one of which is drowning, in which the human race basically disappears. The second is near drowning, which is kind of like the same thing, except that we manage somehow to struggle through. And the third scenario is learning to swim, which is where we apply all of the brilliant things that we know about the world, and we actually make things better. In that way, avoiding collapse and avoiding near collapse. My personal feeling is that we're not that bright collectively, and that we're probably going to swallow a lot of water, which is the near drowning scenario. But anyway, that's to be seen yet. In this book, there is also a call to action, and the call to action is to join the Extinction Rebellion. Very simple. So it's laid out nicely. I've got the thing open here. I've got the gutters right. I think it's laid out pretty good. I am actually very happy. Now also, it's in this book, which I haven't done so much in the past, is it's got a lot of back matter, and the back matter basically pictures a whole bunch of the other Guy Lane enterprises. I've got the Quen in here, we've got the intro, we've got Perium, we've got Mr. Beluski, We've got Time to Wake, which is the sequel, the series that comes after this book. The other fiction titles, and then a little bit of blurb. And there's a picture of me when I was in London participating in the Extinction Rebellion in August this year. So, very happy with this book. I want you to buy it, and I want you to read it, and I want you to share it with other people, and I want you to act accordingly having read it. Go now.